What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, if you see something that you like here today, please don't forget to subscribe at some point. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So over the last several weeks, this has actually been requested by quite a few younger bucks that watch the channel. And so I'm finally getting around to it. Thank you for all the requests. So here we go. This is 10 fragrances that I would recommend for a young buck. And by young buck, I mean, you know, teenagers, early college, just young men in general. And we're going to keep the budget under $40. So these are going to be pretty cheap, pretty easy to get your hands on. And I can assure you, there's no Versace Dylan Blue, there's no Bleu de Chanel, and there's no Sauvage in this video. Stay tuned. So jumping off into the first one is one that's a recent acquisition. I have worn. I've written down my thoughts. I need to shoot the video for a full review. Got mixed reviews when it came out, but I think it's a pretty damn good fragrance. It's from Salvatore Ferragamo. It's their newest release called Ferragamo. Yes, there are going to be some blue fragrances on this list, and this is absolutely a blue fragrance, with the main notes being some citruses, predominantly bergamot, sage, and violet leaf on this one. Look at that beautiful atomizer. I was on FragranceNet earlier today and saw they still had, I think, 11 bottles left at $29 after the coupon code for a 100 ml full presentation, which is how and where I got this one. This is absolutely worth 30 bucks for sure. And it performs. I gotta tell you, 8+ hours. It didn't really become a skin scent till a little bit after 9 hours the last time I wore it. Like, I was shocked how well this fragrance performs. It smells great. If you like violet leaf fragrances or sage heavy fragrances, or in this case a combination of both, you'll like this. It's got a green quality to it, a little herbaceousness, while still being a blue versatile fragrance, compliment getting. You know, this is really good stuff. Really powerful, surprisingly powerful, with a good sillage, and one that I recommend for all ages, especially younger guys. I can see younger guys getting a lot of use. Daily driver stuff right here for you younger bucks for sure. And I strongly urge you, check this one out. I think it's fantastic. That's why I wanted to start this video with this fragrance, because I think this is ideal for a young man. And that's newest release from Salvatore Ferragamo called Ferragamo. Next, at the recording of this, it's not my scent of the day, but when you see it, this is actually my scent of the day. It's very cheap. On FragranceNet, you can get a 60 ml like this bottle for around 14 bucks, right over 20 bucks for a 100 ml. It's from Jaguar, of all places. It's Jaguar Pace. Made kind of famous by, I think the only real reviews on this is, I know Jeremy Fragrance talked about it a lot. I know Chad from A Gentleman's Journey did a full review last year on this one. This is soapy shower gel, as stated, because the iris in this is very soapy, not heavily floral. The rosemary is very dominant, so it's got a good fresh spicy quality to it, and pepper is dominant in this one as well. So it's kind of like a fresh, kind of spicy shower gel type of smell. Nothing special in performance, 4 to 5 hours, but for what you're going to pay, you keep this with you. Cool looking bottle too. I really love the way this bottle is. Like I said, this is a 60 ml. This is a fantastic grab and go, casual wear, going to school every day. You're not going to offend anybody because it doesn't project too heavy. Just daily driver kind of stuff. Great for a younger guy, fresh out the shower, kicking it with friends, after the gym. Don't matter, it's just gonna work, and it's cheap. Like I said, 14 bucks right now from FragranceNet for a 60 milliliter 2-ounce bottle like this. This is probably the best $14 fragrance you can get right now, in my opinion. It's pretty good, not really underrated, more hidden gem kind of stuff, and one that I think will work great for a younger man. And that's Jaguar Pace. Next is another one that can be had for around 30 bucks online. Not your traditional light blue fragrance. It's generic without being too generic. It's got a uniqueness without being overly unique. Strange as that sounds. From Bentley, Momentum Unlimited. The light blue juice has a slight ambroxan note that, believe it or not, doesn't hang out long. A lot of grapefruit, leather, and vetiver. This one's very fresh, very inviting, decent performer. And it just smells good. It smells great. It's another one you can wear daily. Girls are gonna like this, the way this one smells on you, fellas. Just saying, it's a compliment getter. All of these actually will get you some compliments in the right situation. These are very friendly to the nose, to say the least. Nothing offensive on this list. Just great, versatile, affordable, light scents that you can wear most seasons and most occasions. And this absolutely fits the bill. This is one I've urged many times now in the last few months for people to check out, because it's very underrated and it's a very, very good, probably best fresh fragrance from Bentley, and that's Bentley Momentum Unlimited. Underrated, overlooked, underappreciated, and one that you should check out. Next, this actually made my spring list. I believe it was on my cheapie list. And there's several other channels that talk about it on a regular basis. So it's not a hidden gem. It's not really underrated. It's a solid fragrance. You can have around 30 bucks for around 30 bucks for a 100 ml. It's from Lacoste. It's Lacoste L'homme. Very, very, very citrusy. The rhubarb pops in this one as well, adding a little bit of uniqueness to it. It's a little fresh spicy, but it's a lot of citrus up top. Very, very fresh, decent performer. Does not smell like everything else. There's some uniqueness here. There's diversity for your collection getting Lacoste L'homme. And like I said, it's cheap. And it's one of the better fragrances from Lacoste. Now, Lacoste has some fantastic, affordable options, kind of geared towards the younger man. For the, you know, the more sporty, athletic type is kind of what the brand is all about. It's a tennis brand. And I got to say, this is a great daily wear. 3-season fragrance, easily spring, fall, and summer. Works great in the heat. I don't see it being terrible in the cold, but I probably wouldn't reach for this in the cold winter. Maybe early and late winter when it's manageable, depending on where you live. But one that, like I said, a lot of people are talking about more and more, and I think this is fantastic for a young man to get his hands on. Great daily driver. Definitely a compliment grabber right here when people can smell you. They're gonna like the way you smell. Probably gonna ask you what it is, because it does not smell like everything else. And that's, once again, that's Lacoste L'homme. Cheapie gold. And speaking of Lacoste, we'll actually stick with the house. At the recording of this video, this was my scent of the day. Lacoste L1212 Blanc, also known more affectionately as Lacoste White. Very grapefruit heavy. A little white floral with some leather in the dry down. And a lot of grapefruit, mind you. A smooth grapefruit. It's not sharp. It's not overly, you know, abrasive or anything like that. It's really beautiful. One of the most popular fragrances from Lacoste. You can have a 100 milliliter like this from discounters for 30 bucks. I was about to say 100 bucks. Excuse me. And it's a great staple in a summer rotation. You know, it didn't really make my summer list. There was others that I really wanted to feature. But I gotta say, Young Bucks, it's a great grab. It really is. It's a fantastic, easy grab, dumb reach type of stuff for the hot weather. Actually has a little bit more elegance than some of the fragrances on here. You can kind of dress this one up. Maybe if you're rocking a polo or a nice button-up Oxford, maybe with a couple of buttons undone, and you're going somewhere with your girl or going out on a date or something like that, and it's hot outside. Lacoste White's definitely going to fit the bill for you. Great fragrance at a great price, and one that I think most young men have probably smelled one of their buddies wearing, because this is a very popular fragrance, and one that I strongly urge you guys, check out. This is great for a younger man that, you know, guys that are approaching middle age, such as myself, can still pull off very easily, because it's such a fresh and inviting smell. But once again, that's Lacoste White, but correctly known as L1212 Blanc. Just call it Lacoste White. Next, this is one that, you know, growing up, the fragrance from Abercrombie and Fitch was Fierce. Guys my age now, they affectionately think of Fierce, because girls love the way Fierce smelled. Still do. It's overpriced for the performance nowadays because it's watered down. I would say this generation's Fierce is absolutely First Instinct from Abercrombie and Fitch. Yes, the extreme It's a little warmer, spicier, muskier, performs a little better. But for the hot weather like this, it's going to be hard to beat. That gin and tonic smell with the melon up top. This is a great fragrance. It does have a youthful vibe, decent performer, perfect for a younger man. You know, anybody, any age can wear anything as long as you're comfortable with it and you enjoy it. But I definitely think the scent profile on this gears towards the younger man, or as I like to say, young bucks. And like I said, this is your generation's Fierce, in my opinion. The little young chicks are gonna like this one. It smells great. It's got that profile for young girls to like. I'm telling you, young fellas, try this one out. They're not expensive. You can find them at the rack store in the $20, $25 range. You can find them online in the $25, $30 range. Really good stuff from Abercrombie and Fitch. I gotta say, if I have to pick one out the line for a young man to get his hands on, it's definitely the original, and that's First Instinct from Abercrombie and Fitch. Next, this is kind of the cheaper alternative to Versace Mano Fraiche, and I actually prefer it to Versace Mano Fraiche. It's a Zaharoff Chrome Sport. You can have this one for 25 bucks all over the place online. When you find it at rack stores, it's 20 bucks for this 100 ml. And it smells so close to Versace Mano Fraiche. Performs about the same, about a 6-hour fragrance. Maybe a little less for some, maybe a little more for others, but that happy medium's in that 5 to 7 hour range, really. And it's cheap. It's cheap. The bottle's pretty cool looking because it's frosted. Kind of strange being as narrow as it is, which makes it tall. But I gotta say, fellas, girls love Versace Mano Fraiche. This smells like Versace Mano Fraiche for half the price from discounters. And we'll just leave it at that. Next, now we're getting pretty versatile. This is one of my favorites. Not everybody's a fan, but a lot of people are. It's very mass appealing, strong compliment getter. Not the strongest performer though. It's from Coach. It's the original Coach for men. This stuff is fantastic. I've featured it many times on this channel because I love this fragrance. That juicy pear up top and the suede, it's just so good. It really is. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy Platinum, but I find this to be a bit more versatile. It's not as sweet as Platinum is. Platinum has that heavy vanilla note, and then you have the pineapple up top. It kind of smells like Sauvage with pineapple and vanilla, really. It's a sweeter version of it in essence, but I think this just adds a versatility. It's a little bit lighter compound. I think this one can work better in spring, summer, fall, especially in summer. And I'm telling you, when people smell this on you, this might end up being your go-to. If you go sample this one, you're probably gonna end up getting a bottle, but get a bottle online. Don't get it from Coach. It's too expensive. A 60 ml like this, you can get under 30 bucks. In that 30, right over $30 range for a 100 ml. And I gotta tell you, it's versatile, it smells great. You're just gonna enjoy the way you smell. And I can assure you, everyone around you will as well. And that's the original Coach for Men. Now, this is probably the best performer in this video, only being seconded by Ferragamo. It's got that Invictus bubblegum, sweet bubblegum opening with a very spicy dry down. Compliment getting stuff, great evening wear for a younger man, going to dinner with his girl, going to the movies, things like that. It's from Zaharoff. It's the original Wanted. That's right, the revolver bottle. This is gonna be great for a younger man. I would say you can wear daily driver, don't get me wrong, you can wear this every day if you want to. But based on everything that's in this video, I would say this would be a good one for going places, when you're going to do stuff. Very compliment getting DNA. And like I said, strong performer. Don't overspray on this one. You choke yourself out if you put too many sprays. This is a pretty strong fragrance. People will smell you. The heavier you spray, the more you will fill the room that you are in. So keep that in mind with the Zaharoff Wanted. Could have went with Wanted by Night here, but I wanted to keep the price down and keep it a little bit more versatile. Wanted by Night is definitely sweeter, spicier, and gears towards the nighttime more, hence the name Wanted by Night. This can run in the daytime a lot better to be situational appropriate. So I really think this fits the video better, and I would suggest this one over Wanted by Night for a younger man for sure. It has a youthful appeal to it, I find, and once again, that's a Zaharoff Wanted. the original. I would say this one's great to grab daytime on into evenings. And then last but not least, you know, we had to have an Invictus Aqua type of fragrance, and this is probably the most popular one that's not actually Invictus Aqua. It's from Montblanc, Legend Spirit. You can get it cheap, 100 ml for 30 bucks or less. Very strong compliment getter. People love the way this one smells. I know I am one of those people for sure. This stuff is fantastic. I've talked about it many times before on this channel because it is such a great fragrance. Not the, you know, biggest screamer. It doesn't fill rooms. And it's not an all-day spray. About a 6-hour fragrance for the most part. Does get out in the air. It's very ozonic. It wafts very easy. It's light and airy. Very fizzy, effervescent in the opening. And just smells great. The bubble gum isn't too much in the opening. It's just fresh. It's delightful. People love the way it smells. It's cheap. Great for a young buck. And this is also what's going to finish off this video. And that's Montblanc Legend Spirit. It's kind of a big deal, and it's definitely a must-have. Well, that's my 10. And like I said, no stereotypical, because it's always the easy answer when a young guy that's really starting to get into the hobby and get into fragrances asks, what should I start my collection with? It's always easy to tell them Versace Dylan Blue, Bleu de Chanel, whichever concentration, or Dior Sauvage. That's always so easy to tell them, but I figured we'd mix it up a little bit, keep it affordable, you know, because they're going to spend a little bit more on most of those, especially Bleu de Chanel and Sauvage. Let's keep it affordable and within reach, and let's really mix it up and give them some different options. And I feel like we accomplished that here today on the video. I hope this helps some of you young bucks. I appreciate y'all requesting me doing this. This was a fun list to pick. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys, which is how this video even came about, hearing from you guys. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love the suggestions. I can't get to every video. Sometimes it takes longer to get to them than others, but don't worry. I do read them. I do understand. I respond most of the time. And the videos go in the queue. You know, it's just sometimes it takes longer than others to get to. Sometimes it'll take weeks because I have so many other things lined up. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these, you give me a spray now. Real confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.